Hello and welcome to our quarterly Youth in Action series here on the Serenity Resource Connector. Whether you're tuned in live or you're watching the replay, it is a pleasure to have you here. If this is your first time tuning in, a warm welcome to you. All right, so our youth leaders in Clarendon are on a mission to rebrand and rebuild Clarendon. Awesome mission. And what are we really expecting out of this particular discussion? We want to highlight what it is that the youth leaders are planning, what the activities are, and also to get other youth involved, trusting that you'll be inspired to be a part of this grand mission, that you'll come on board through the different youth organizations in the parish to be a part of this rebranding and rebuilding exercise, and for not just the youth, but for support from different adults, whether through businesses, different organizational group, community groups, the churches, the different organizations to come on board to be a part of this mission to support our youth in rebranding and rebuilding Clarendon. All right, so we have with us here, we're going to get started with Cheyenne Reed, the president of the Clarendon Police Youth Club Council. Cheyenne, welcome to the Serenity Resource Connector space.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure to have you all here sharing. Cheyenne, we would have indicated last year in this series what the Police Youth Club is all about. But as the current president for the Youth Club Council, share with the viewers what is it that the Police Youth Club is all about, the age range for those who can get involved, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, so the Police Youth Club movement is the youth arm of the JCF. We are here to build the bridge the gap between youths and the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We have a lot of different activities targeted at engaging our youths, and the age range is between age 5 to 35. But we also have associate members who are age 35 and upwards.
Awesome. All right. That associate member part seems new to me. It's great to know, though. All right. So from the age 5, that would be the Police Youth Club in schools.
Yes,
All right. How's that part going?
it's going good. I think we have 5 schools that are currently on board in Clarendon, and we're hoping to get more schools on board.
All right. Do you have a name of those 5 schools?
Off the top of my head, Maypen Infant, Maypen Primary, Treadlight Primary. I can't remember the other two.
It's okay. All right. Great. So, how can others come on board? Because we do have some educators who connect from time to time. How can other schools come on board?
Well, they can visit the CSSB office in Maypen and speak to Constable Thomas. He's the PYC coordinator for Clarendon, and they will take it from there.
All right. So, the CSSB is the Community Safety and Security Branch. So, you want to ask for Constable Thomas or any member of that division. They'll be able to support you in getting connected so you can get your young people on board. What are some of the activities that are currently taking place in those youth clubs in schools?
Well, we have different activities. We have choirs, we have breakfast programs, we have arts and craft. There are a lot of activities, a whole lot. I can't
Okay.
remember everything off the top of my head, but I remember those three.
All right. That's awesome. It's always great to get them engaged in the arts. Right. So, how long have you been a part of the Police Youth Club and why did you get involved?
Well, I've been a part of the Police Youth Club for over 7 years. The reason why I got involved in the youth club movement in my community of Lioneltown, I realized that the youths were not engaged in anything, I wouldn't say meaningful, but we wouldn't have a place where we could call a safe space to voice our concerns and just be ourselves. So myself, along with my cousin and a police officer, we formed the youth club in our community, and the rest is history.
This is history. All right. So, as we warm up to get into the meat of the matter, what are some of the benefits that you have gotten from being a part of the Police Youth Club movement?
Okay, so firstly, I'm still a shy person, but I was even more of a shy person back then. I couldn't speak in public, so it has gained my self-confidence. And through the Police Youth Club, I have been different hard certifications, such as through the Police Youth Club movement, I am now a certified painter, level 2, via Heart Trust NTA, and sorry.
Certified painter. That's awesome stuff. All right. So let's get into the whole rebranding, rebuilding Clarendon. That's an awesome mission. Why and how did this mission come about?
Okay, so during the COVID period, most of our police youth clubs were dormant, so they went down. We didn't have any activities. We weren't able to socialize or meet and greet each other as usual. So since COVID ended,
Right. Seem to be having a bit of a technical challenge there. So while we get that sorted out, let's have a chat with Rajay. Rajay is no stranger to the Serenity Resource Connector space. Rajay, welcome back. Welcome back to the Serenity Resource Connector.
Always a pleasure to return home.
All right, beautiful. All right, so Rajay is the president of the Clarendon Parish Youth Council, and he would have shared with us before, but we're going to ask him to do a quick highlight of what it is that the parish youth council does, and how it ties in with the police youth council. So go ahead, Rajay, and share.
Right, so in a nutshell, the Parish Youth Council is the umbrella organization for all youth-led community-based organizations within the parish. So we are tasked with the responsibility of overseeing the police youth clubs, the faith-based organizations, uniform group, all community-based youth-led organizations. We are a direct contact to the Ministry of Education and Youth, and by extension, the National Youth Council of Jamaica. So, at a national level, the Clarendon Parish Youth Council would basically represent all youth-led organizations within Clarendon.
All right, fantastic. So Cheyenne was about to share with us before the technical challenge there about, all right, see your Longville Park community support in the house. Hi, Cecilia. Yes, about the this awesome mission to rebrand and rebuild Clarendon. Tell us a little about that from the Parish Youth Council perspective. What is it that
Uh,
led you to this point, and what do we intend to do?
as what Ms. Reed was saying earlier, we realized that COVID the pandemic had a lot of negative impact, especially on young people. Yeah, I know that the COVID is, let me say, gone. Yes, so what gone? Uh, we plan to, during the COVID period, I must add that majority of our youth-led organizations would have went dormant. And one of the issues we're also having, Clarendon, a youth parish like this with active youth-led organization is without a youth empowerment officer. So that is what was one of our greatest challenge coming outside of COVID. So majority of our club went dormant, and we say, hey, this year, the Prime Minister would have threw up a lot of the COVID measures. We said this year we have to hit the ground. We have to get back carrying on the place that it is coming from. And they can tell you every time we have our national meeting, they always say Clarendon is one of the parish that has the most active youth-led organization. Even for November when we went to the Prime Minister Youth Award, representative from the ministry was surprised that Clarendon have no youth empowerment officer, but Clarendon bring a boatload of young people. Yeah, so we want to get back all our clubs revitalized, and we also want to launch some clubs. Also, one of the clubs that we plan to launch this year is the Freetown. Yes, I would have started dialogue through SDC with Mr. Mackenzie and see how much we can get youth-led organization off the ground. Also, we have we have two different councils. We have objectives that we want to meet this year, yeah, in terms of plans for different youth-led organizations and plans for the police youth club council. But the main objective is to get back our youth-led organization active so we can be one of the most vibrant parish as we are normally are.
Awesome. Yes, and I saw those awesome pictures of the Prime Minister's Award. The young people were having a whale of a time, and it's always great to see, right, the young people being engaged at that level. And as a matter of fact, we have I'm almost sure one of the maybe former exec member was commissioned as a justice of the peace in the last batch.
Yes,
Is it Brittany?
Marcel
Not
Jackson.
Marcel.
Yes,
Oh,
man, and she's the youngest. Not,
yes.
not Marcel.
Yes, Marcel Jackson, I think it is.
Sorry.
Is it
Yeah,
Marcel
man,
Jackson?
she's one of the youngest justice
Yes.
of the peace. I'm very much elated. Yeah, and she would have also used the opportunity to encourage young people to get involved. Yeah, and become justice of the peace. Also, let me just add that our advisor to the parish youth committee is also a justice of the peace, and our vice president was also inducted uh, with Marcel as a justice of the peace.
All
So we have more
right.
young people actually becoming justice of the peace.
All right. So the rebranding and rebuilding, it sounds to me that it has already started. Because normally you would not have young people that young being a part of the Justice of the Peace core. All right. Welcome back, Shane. All right. So it's great that you're all working so closely together. So Rajay was just able to pick up the baton and move on in sharing about the rebranding and rebuilding exercise. And I must share, I'm not sure if you saw it, but one of the counselors from Counselors Update, we have Counselors Update every fourth Thursday here on the Surrey Resource Connector. And last week we had counselors from Kellett and Crofts Hill, and they were sharing that the same thing about rebuilding the youth club that came up. And so it was really interesting that we're going to be having that conversation in this episode following. So we have some work to do and some collaboration right there to engage with those counselors to get it going. All right. So you're not going to be doing it by yourself. gonna be working as a team Clarendon, right? All right. So let's get into the some of the specifics. What are some of the activities that's gonna be you're gonna be rolling out this year for the rebranding and rebuilding exercise? Shane, let's hear from you. The, the activities that's gonna be taking place.
So, So for April, we have our PYC week of activities coming up. And normally we start our PYC week of activities with a church service. The week of activities is from April 23rd through to the 29th of April. We have activities such as a church service or a random act of kindness, which is something that we try to do every year, in which we make donations to the less fortunate and the girls and boys home within the parish. We also have our annual general meeting and or online leadership training within the week. We also are working closely with
Before you move
a
on to that
representative.
one, before you move on to that one, for the leadership, that leadership training, it's for the current core of leaders across the parish,
No, it's open to all of our police youth club members.
all members. All right. So you are actually developing leaders as you go on. Sounds like great succession planning. What do they expect to see coming out? Are you going to be having promotion leading up to the date, registration? What will take place? How can they get the info?
Yes, we will have promotions. We'll have a flyer going around, and we'll also have a registration form so persons can register.
Beautiful. And for the random acts of kindness, I love that one. Awesome. How do you usually carry out that?
So usually we have different fundraising events to raise money to actually get the items that we need to give back to those necessary persons. And the last time we had RAC, we had our road march in Mapen. We were walking around and we were asking persons for contributions. We had persons in their little cheerleading uniform, dancing, persons singing, anything that we could do to raise funds for the RAC.
All right. It's always great to be supporting because those children will always need to have that kind of support, not just during Child's Month and those other periods, but throughout they need our support. All right. So let's hear about the heart certification program. What's the plan?
All right, so we are planning, or we're hoping, and this will be done. We are going to get 100 of our members across the parish certified in customer service so that this can aid them in their club meetings in dealing with the different persons that they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Love that. Retooling. Beautiful. And for the police youth clubs, it's been mentioned in different settings that the parish development committee, there are concerns about the inactivity of the police youth club, especially in times like these. And so what exactly are the plans to revitalize the police youth clubs?
Well, we're currently on a mission. We are getting the club members, or we're having meetings, we're getting their concerns, and we're trying to work it out with our police officers to get their clubs back active. Our first club that is on the agenda is the Rocky Point Police Youth Club, and then we're going to head over to Longville Park because they've been requesting our assistance.
All right, Rocky Point, look out for the team coming into your area, and then Longville Park. All right, X Factor, welcome, bigging up Shine. He loves the work that the Police Youth Club is doing in the parish. Awesome. We continue to give our support. So You also have online homework assistance program. Is that something that's ongoing or is it a new part of the mission?
It's a new part of our mission because we have children as young as 5 years old within our club, so we're trying our best to assist them with anything they have related, whether it's homework or school projects. And I know that within some of our clubs they have designated club meetings to help persons with their homeworks and school assessments.
Awesome. So is that like a big sister, big brother kind of support system going
Yeah,
on there?
yes it is.
Love that. Hi, Abigail. Awesome. All right. So, what additional support do you need? Because I mean, even as you do that for the big brothers and the big sisters need some support themselves, right? Because you have some big brothers and big sisters who are going to be sitting CSEC and all of that.
Yes.
What's in the plan for them?
So what we have in the plan for them, we're trying to get some teachers on board to have some CSEC classes for them leading up to their examinations.
All right. So we are no longer trying. We are going to get some teachers on board to support. All right. I'm sure we have a number of committed teachers and retired teachers. So I'm making a public appeal to the justices of the peace in the parish, retired teachers, to come on board, and not just justices of the peace, but we have a number of community leaders, members, group leaders from the churches and all of that who are, come on, there's still space for you to be a part of what is going on. So we're going to support our young people. Lee Grant, always a pleasure to see you sharing. Great night to you, listening from Simon Rock River. Awesome. Rock River in the house. Amazing. All right. What's the plan for Rock River? Is the club in Rock River? I'm sure it was mentioned. Rock River, no, Rock River needs to be revitalized as well.
Yes, it
Yes,
does.
yes, I'm almost sure that was the update. Yes, Marjorie, thank you so much. Yes, we need to get involved so we can support our young people on their mission. All right, so you're not going to be doing it alone. All right. Youth in Business monthly feature, another big part of the mission. Tell
Yes,
us
it
about
is.
that one.
So for me, the youth in month, sorry, the youth in business monthly feature is very important to me because I am an entrepreneur and I love young people who are always trying to make ends meet. So this monthly feature will highlight our youth across the parish who are involved, who own their own businesses, and what we're going to do is highlight them on our social media pages so we can bring some attraction to their businesses and help them get some new customers.
I love that. And I'll share why after we hear from Roger. All right. We're going to bring Roger in for you to talk about that final. That's what you have shared five different aspects so far: the youth police youth club week, the heart certification, revitalizing and re-energizing the police youth clubs, online homework assistance program, the Youth in Business Monthly feature, and the sixth one is a partnership collaboration, same thing between the Police Youth Club Council and the Parish Youth Council. Tell us about that aspect, Cheyenne, and then Raji will join join in.
Well, this isn't our first partnership with the Clarendon Parish Youth Council. We have been working very closely with them and we are happy to be bringing to our youths across the parish or parish sports day, which will be held on April 8th. This is open to all youth groups across the parish. We're trying to get everyone together for a networking experience and just for us to have a good time on the day. It's been a while since we've been together like this, so we're hoping that all our youth club members and or youth leaders across the parish will show up and show out.
Awesome. And the word is spreading because it's in practically all the groups. The parish development committee has been sharing, and I know that it was shared in the, almost sure it was shared in the Justice of the Peace group. And so we are expecting to see a lot more coming out of that. How are the registrations going?
Well, registrations are a bit slow, but we are encouraging our young people every day to register because we want to know how much persons are coming so we can know the amount of persons that we're catering for.
All right. Because you need to have the necessary plans in place. Well, as the Police Youth Club Council, I'm sure you'll have the support of the Community Safety and Security branch in terms of guiding that aspect of it, and the collaboration with the health department and the other organizations in the parish to make sure that you have the proper emergency response systems and all of that on board. We had a discussion earlier this month with on our safety and security discussion about, I mean, event safety, and that was part of it. So for those who are usually involved in planning events, community level, whether for these kind of activities or commercial activities, you want to take a look at that. Some of the tips that the police and the fire department shared as to how you go about things you need to consider when you're planning your events and all of that. All right. All right. Cheyenne is on, and now Roger. We are waiting on Roger to rejoin. Here he is. Roger. Uh, all right. Waiting on you to share with us. Cheyenne shared about the the sports day, the upcoming sports activity, the collaboration with both councils. What are you expecting out of this activity at the parish youth council level?
All right, so this is just one of the many plans to encourage young people to come out, yeah, so we can revitalize clubs across the parish. One of the objectives also for this sports day, because we're targeting all young, young at heart, and even the old at heart, yeah, if there's such a thing. But one of the objective also is to target unattached youth, yeah, unattached young people who is not a part of any youth-led organization. So coming out of this, we would have been encouraging young people to register. We have an online registration. Those of you who are watching and interested in playing at the sports they're competing can go on our social media platform, Facebook, Instagram. But one of the objectives from this, especially for those who are unattached, so the registration, they would have an option to state whether they are attached or unattached. Yeah, meaning if they are part of a group or not. So data collected from that will then pair our unattached youth to the closest youth-led organization to them. So for an example, because we have young people, for an example, let us say live in Bottom House Hall, but you know that Bottom House Hall have a youth club, yeah? So out of that, our aim is to peer them to the closest youth-led organization to them. Yeah. And we know that young people love sports. So really it's just to get them out and have a good time competing and even building network with other youth-led organization.
Love that. So it's not just about them coming together, but there's follow up that will take place after, and they're gonna have some connection going on. Awesome. Hi, Asha Gale. Thank you for joining us. All right. So we are hearing the different aspects of this mission that our young people in Clarendon are on to rebrand and rebuild the parish. And it is great to see our youth stepping out. All right. Marjorie McDonald is saying that Mineral Heights need one as well. So make sure that Mineral Heights on the list. All right. So, all right. So, Roger, we're going to continue with you. The other aspects of the Clarendon Parish Youth Council mission for 2023? What's the other area that you're focusing on? Rache, are you still hearing?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
The other aspect of the plan for the Parish Youth Council. So we talked about the sports. Share with us the other areas that you're going to be focusing on for 2023 as part of the rebranding and rebuilding exercise.
All right. Unlike the police youth club, because you know that we're two different organizations with two different objectives. We want to capitalize on the Prime Minister would have announced that April, effective April, there will be no charges to uh, training through the hard trust NTA. So we want to capitalize on that. And I'm going to use the opportunity to call out, yeah, Miss Brooks from the Clarendon Hard Trust. I would have been having some discussion with her as to uh, having some community training, not only for youth, but for persons within the community who feel the need to get on board and want training and certification in skill areas. So right after the sports day, I can guarantee you that we'll be having consultation with our young people to find out what exactly they're interested in, what type of training they would like to participate in. Yeah, so that is something that we have to get done on our calendar of events. And I must tell you that Clarendon, likewise, we want to get back to the stage. I remember when the Youth Innovation Center was packed as we had training, and sometimes the room was filled, it couldn't hold the amount of young people. So we want to get back to that stage. After training, uh, through the Hard Trust NT again, they have different work programs like the SL Top that targets high school leaving and the group that targets unattached people with little to no qualification. So coming out of that training, what we want to do is get more young people employed. So after they having been gone through that training, our aim is to work with Hard Trust again to get them attached to a business organization where they would work between 6 months to a year while getting additional training and also getting a monthly stipend. Also, likewise with the Police Youth Club Council, one of our objective is to uh, revitalize dormant youth-led organization and launch some new youth-led organization, as I would have mentioned earlier, that Freetown is one of them first that we're going to start with. That is high on our priority. Uh, we would have done two crime prevention programs, the Clarendon Building Business Program, that would target deviant youth between the ages, I think, between the ages of 10 straight up to 25. So we hope to roll out phase 3 of that. We would have worked in Bottom Hospital, we would have worked in Palmer's Cross the other day, and trust me, it was a great result. And I would have mentioned on here, I think already, that out of Palmer's Cross, we were able to get one of the young ladies who had aspiration of becoming an early childhood educator. We would have been able to get her an internship through Hard Trust NTA, where she currently at a school, um, getting some experience and getting her little monthly stipend. I've had a conversation with her this evening. Yes, so crime prevention program, we want to launch phase 3 of that. We're looking to launch such in the community of Hill, the same thing that them call farm. we would have had a meeting with USAID just on Tuesday. I will hope that Clarendon would be one of the parishes that will get a grant so we can roll out that before my, my tenure in November. And as I talk about November and my tenure, November we'll be having the third staging, and this is where we collaborate with the Police Youth Club Council again, because the Police Youth Club Council also is one of the largest youth-led organization within the parish. So we're closing out November. November is Youth Month with our third staging of the Clarendon Youth Awards, where we recognize and honor young, youth leaders who have been making positive impact within the parish, grassroots youth leaders, because I would have mentioned that not everybody will get a Prime Minister Youth Award or a Governor General award. We want to honor our young people and let them know, hey, we see you. We love the amazing work that you have been doing, and we want to honor and recognize you. Yeah. So that's basically it for now until November.
That's a whole lot of things there to get done. All right, let's get our live viewers in. Great evening to you, Selena. All right, Sakitha is saying, great evening. It would be nice to do some outreach in the Upper Clarendon area as well. The young people really need some serious intervention so that they do not head down the wrong path. And this was the sentiment shared on last week's program when the counselors were sharing as it relates to the concern about the young people in Northern Clarendon. So, are there plans for Northern Clarendon? Because we have been hearing primarily about Central and Southern.
And Southern, I must agree with Selita. I think a week ago I was on a radio program, and we had people from James Hill, Baghole, calling in to the program, requesting that we do some form of intervention within the upper part of Clarendon. And I must agree that the council base is, our focus really is on the central and southern part of Clarendon. And I must agree that going forward, we need to reach the young people within upper part of the parish. I might add to that why the focus might be on central and the southern part of Clarendon. I would say these are areas that tend to have that tend to need a lot of attention, especially when it comes to crime among young people. So majority of especially our crime prevention programs, target areas within the southern and the central part of the parish. But most definitely, I think the Police Youth Club and us have to do some collaboration, and we have to go up in the hills and try reach those young people for true.
Yes, because that's been that's been a part of the concern over the years, because most of the focus, as you shared, central, southern Clarendon. But if we're going to be rebranding and rebuilding Clarendon, it has to be across the parish and just not just concentrated. All right. In addition to that, there's a part that we keep missing out. Asha Gale, thank you so much for this. We need to have training for disabilities too. Anything for our disabled community?
And I must agree, I can't agree enough with Asha Gale. And let me tell you, a part of the employment program that we're pushing towards Heart, and that's why I can't stop talking enough about Heart Trust. They have programs that take on persons with disability, employment programs. They also have training programs that take on persons with disability. So most definitely, the programs that we plan to implement with Heart Trust NTA will do take on persons with disability. As I mentioned earlier, we plan to do consultation with our young people to find out what they want. So, Asha Gay, you can always tell us the program that you want. I think you have a number for me. You can always reach out to me and we have discussion going further.
All right. All right. Here's a very important point to note. The young people in all regions of Clarendon interface at some point in time, and trust me, things do rub off. Because the reality is
I
that we
agree.
have a number of our, remember now, we have a number of our young people from central Clarendon that goes to school in Upper Clarendon. So that's part of the challenge, and we have a number of young people from northern Clarendon who comes to central and southern Clarendon. So that's how the interface takes place. So that's something that we have to bear in mind as we go forward. All right. So, but I'm sure you're taking note of that and through the different organizations in the parish, because it cannot be on the parish youth council and the police youth council alone. It has to be a joint up approach for it to be really effective. And at this point, let me bring on back Shine, because when I saw the discussion, oh, by the way, let me just let you know that Shane came up with this awesome topic: youth on a mission, rebranding and rebuilding Clarendon. Shane, thank you so much for this, because it was just perfect. We need to get our youth, really need to get our youth involved, right? And Roger, through the Parish Youth Council, did reach out to the Chamber of Commerce requesting support for the employment aspect of their mission for this year. And interestingly, before that communication came in, I'd engaged one of our Governor General, I believe, ambassadors for the parish to have a discussion on what it would look like to build out a youth arm for the chamber. So when all of this started coming up, I'm like, all right, we are actually moving on the same frequency. And so I'm going to, in my capacity as the president for the parish chamber, commit support for the entrepreneurial aspect. That's the that business feature, the employment and the training aspect, because there is a lot of concern. There are a lot of concerns in the parish from the business perspective that the young people who are coming out, and not just the young, but the young at heart that are there, need to get some training. So we want to work together to make this work. And there's also a youth in business at the municipal corporation. There's a youth arm of the parish development committee. So I'm committing that we're going to work together to make this mission a reality. Michaela, thank you for tuning in. All right. So the Chamber of Commerce in Clarendon going to be working with our youth arm of the parish to make sure that that aspect gets done. And of course, through the parish development committee, the other areas, because it does come up from time to time. We have the interagency network that can help to support. So we don't want to see the youth just taking on this big mission all by themselves, because that is why the resources are limited, and that's why it's concentrated in some areas, because you have to prioritize. So let's all work together. The counselors are highlighting that they want to see more in terms of revitalization. So I want to ensure that the counselors are working with the young people to make sure that this gets done. Because at the end of the day, everyone looks good. All right. So you're going to need to get some extra bus loads when you're going into Kingston in November, because we're going to have more people. So we want to call in on the schools across the parish, the churches across the parish, the justices of the peace across the parish of Clarendon, all the other areas to come on board to support the youth as they embark on this mission, right? Because we have
Mrs.
to
Witter, if you know me,
go ahead, Roger.
in
We
the
missed that,
same
Roger.
breath I have to use, and I know that this platform will far and wide, and in the same breath, and I know that the Police Youth Council will join me in saying this. We're calling on the Ministry of Education. We need a youth empowerment officer at the Clarendon Youth Innovation Center, at least two youth empowerment officers. There were two there, two of them would have left. I think from November, we are without a youth empowerment officer, and the Youth Innovation Center is our safe space, our free area. I think that is the only area we have accessible to all young people within Clarendon, free of charge, fully furnished. So we're calling on the ministry. I'm yet to see even the position advertised for youth empowerment officer for Clarendon. So I'm using the opportunity to call on the Ministry of Education. We need a youth empowerment officer to help us here within Clarendon. In the same breath, we're calling on the same ministry, yeah, to not only send us a youth empowerment officer, but to also provide some form of funding to maintain the Youth Innovation Center. Sometimes the Youth Innovation Center, you can tell the difference from a forest and a youth innovation center because of the overgrown vegetation. I know that at a time, the innovation center, you couldn't tell the difference whether you're inside or outside, because when rain falls, yeah, water is inside the building pouring, yeah. So we're calling on the ministry, sort out Clarendon, please.
Well said. And I am endorsing that because we need to have, because we had the youth empowerment officer at the time last year coming on to share the mandate of the Youth Innovation Center. And that is where the coming together is supposed to take place. So we can't have you out there with this awesome mission without the relevant support. So we're going to make sure that we get that done. All right. Abigail is reminding us that, as the Youth Club motto says, we are helping to build a better Jamaica. Right. And at this point, I must commend Roger and Shane as you continue to press forward, because I know that it's challenging holding organizations of this nature together. And so let me commend you both on the work that you have been doing. And even in the midst of the challenges, you are taking on this grand mission. And I must applaud you for the work that you have been doing, the work that you continue to do, and trust that we have a fresh cohort who are ready to pick up the baton when you decide to demit and move forward. So we continue to build. All right. All right. So we got support in the house. All right. All right. For those who are tuning live, are there any questions that you have for our presidents? We have with us Cheyenne Reed, the president for the Clarendon Police Youth Club Council, as well as Roger Lewis, the president for the Clarendon Parish Youth Council. And they have shared, just in case you joined us after we started, they've shared the different aspects of the mission that they're on as individual organizations, as well as those that they're going to be partnering on to ensure that the mission of rebranding and rebuilding Clarendon is a reality. And the Chamber of Commerce in Clarendon is committed to supporting the entrepreneurial aspect for our youth who are in business as we move forward to make this vision a reality. And through the different organization interagency network, we're going to be engaging the regional representative for the Ministry of Education to write. So I'm going to make sure that it's on the agenda. So we're going to be bringing that up at that level, and as well as the parish development committee level, to ensure that the relevant support is offered to strengthen the youth councils in the parish. Again, commendations on the awesome work you and the rest of the team have been doing. And for those who are joining, share with us, starting with Cheyenne from the Police Youth Club Council, the support that the organizations in the different communities can lend to the Police Youth Club, talking about the churches and all the other organizations that are in the community. How can they support the strengthening of the youth clubs?
Well, we normally visit our different churches in the area, so we have members from churches that are currently that are currently members of our PYCs across the parish. So, what we're asking our businesses and our churches in the different communities to do is to actually, you can sit in at one of the meetings. Any meeting, you can reach out to me at 813-6401 and tell me the community that you're in, and I'll send you the information of the president for that youth club in that area and when they meet and their meeting place.
Go ahead and repeat your number, Shane.
813-6401.
All right. All right. So sharing Shane's number right there for the community leaders that are connected. Please go ahead and pass that on. Venice is here. Hi, Venice. Two of the best leaders for our youth. All right. We're going to make sure that we have some more strong leaders as we go forward. All right. Awesome. For the parish youth council at that level, Roger, how can the wider community support the strengthening of the parish youth council?
Well, they say that it take a village to raise a child, and I'm just gonna put a little twist on it and say it take a village to raise, well, young people. So the support of all organizations within this community is greatly needed to strengthen and help us to carry out the mission that we really set out to, because sometimes, trust me, as a songwriter said, the road is rough and the going get tough. Yeah, so whatever support is welcome. I must use the opportunity to make mention, not really free promotion, but we have to make mention, especially to local businesses that would have hear our cause and jump on right away for our sports day to give us support. That's NHA Auto down there, New Points, Mr. Cousins and PW Heavy Equipment down there in Hayes, that would have jumped on and would have given us readily support for our sports day. I really appreciate that coming out of the business community. It is, yeah. So likewise, we're looking for more organization, more institutions within these communities to come on board and strengthen, give us the strength any way possible. Yeah, both councils would really appreciate it.
Awesome. And that's okay for Sir Cousins, because Cousins Construction is actually one of the program partners. So it's quite okay to share that. All right. And I won't charge the other entity for for this one because it's for our youth. All right, so our program partners, Cousins Construction Services Limited, National Self-Serve Wholesale, and Shagor Aggregates Limited have been supporting this program from the very beginning, even without actually seeing the entire vision. And I must extend my gratitude for them making this space a reality as we continue to highlight what's going on in the parish and what it is that we can do more of, so that we can continue to improve on And the general consensus is that this space is very informative and I'm hearing inspirational as well. So that is amazing because when you all come on and share, you're actually inspiring others to be a part of the mission. Cheyenne was sharing that she's an entrepreneur. She's also gainfully employed, 9 to 5, right, Cheyenne? President for the Police Youth Club Council, and she manages to balance all of that. So we have less than 5 minutes to go, and we need you to leave a word with our young people to inspire and encourage them to continue on the mission that they're on. And for those who are not on us yet, to join the mission.
So I am guided by the philosophy aspire to inspire before you expire. So what that basically means is give of yourself to others, and once you believe in something, you give it your best shot. So everyone who is joining, I'm asking you to join a youth club, get a part of the movement, and do something worthy within your community.
Short and spicy. Aspire to inspire. Amazing. Rajay, what's your word for the your youth in general as well as your youth leaders?
I must say, Miss Reed put the icing on the cake. That was totally beautiful. And likewise, I encourage young people to get on board, be a part of this positive initiative where you can also make impact within your communities. And I strongly believe, in colloquial terms, them say the more, the better. Yeah. So I'm looking for more young people to get on board, all hands on deck as we help to rerun the Clarendon that we want, the Clarendon that we can live, work, raise family, and do business. So young people, get on board and help us make a positive impact and change within the parish.
All right. We did promise you that this would be a really inspiring segment, and I believe that the mission for this episode has been achieved. And so the ball is in our court to be a part of this mission, the change that we want to see happening in Clarendon, and not just in Clarendon, but across our island home of Jamaica. We can't sit around and wait for others to do it for us. We need to be a part of the change that we want to see. So let me thank you again, Rajay and Cheyenne, for sharing space with me here on the Serenity Resource Connector. We continue to highlight the work that our youth leaders are doing in the parish each quarter. So every fifth Thursday going forward, we have our Youth in Action episode here on the Serenity Resource Connector, where we'll be keeping you up to date on how the mission is going. All right. And just remember that you can always reach out to find out how you can be a part of the mission. So whether you're in high school, whether you're unattached, you're not a part of any clubs, any associations in your community, there's always something that you can get involved in. That's how you're going to know what strengths you have, some of the talents and the gifts that lie in there dormant. We want to activate those so that we can be a part of this mission and the wider mission to make Jamaica a better place for each of us. Thank you again, our youth leaders. Always a pleasure to share space with you, to hear you. I get inspired when I hear you and energized, re-energized to continue on the quest to highlight what's going on, what's positive in the space, and what we can do to strengthen what is currently taking place. All right, so this is a wrap for the Serenity Resource Connector for the month of March and the first quarter of 2023. And just remember, on first Thursdays, we have our Culture Corner, partnership with the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission. Second Thursdays, it is our community safety and security with the JCF, Clarendon Division, Manchester Division, St. Elizabeth Division, and of course, we have the experts coming in from the Ministry of National Security, depending on the area that we're looking at. And you want to stay tuned for what's coming up for the second quarter of that. We're going to be sharing with you some resources that you can get access to, depending on what's going on in your community. On 4 Thursdays, we have our Counselors Corner, and we are highlighting the work that the counselors have been doing across the parish and what their mission, their visions are for their particular divisions. So we have covered 6 divisions to date: Rocky Point, Mineral Heights. We have covered Hayes, Kellitz, Crofts Hill, Frankfield, and we have 2 more to go for the month of April. So we're going to be taking 2 each. We have 22 divisions in the parish, and we're going to be hearing from all these divisions and what it is they're doing. So if you don't know who your counselors are, then you will get it here on the Sorrento Resource Connector. Go back, the playlists are there that you can go and see what happened before. And of course, 5th Thursdays, we go live with our youth leaders in the parish of Clarendon. Thank you again. It's always a pleasure to have you joining us, whether live or you watch the replay. Be sure to share, subscribe, and leave a comment to let us know. Let us hear your thoughts on what we were discussing here in this episode and the others as we move forward. Set your notification and join us each Thursday, 8 p.m. here on the Sorrento Resource Connector. Continue to stay safe.